Here's some thoughts. Carl Jung once said that the United States was a schizophrenic nation, and that's a very serious accusation to make. Schizophrenia means that a person, or in this case a society, is torn into two pieces, which have fallen into dissociation with each other. That's a very, very serious illness. It is the great illness of modern times. More people fall into a schizophrenic state now than any other of the mental illnesses. And when a whole society falls schizophrenic, it's a very serious matter. It's, so to speak, the favorite illness of the modern times. We split ourselves badly. And it's urgent that we find something that will repair that split, that will put it back together again, so that the two halves, kind of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde quality, which is characteristic of virtually every modern person, can be put back together again. And a vision quest is specifically designed to do that. It's designed to bring typically a modern person in a small group to a place like this, and first of all, to let him accumulate energy. That is, to rest him, take him away from the telephone, take him away from his usual duties of the day, put him in the midst of beauty, put him in the midst of community, and chiefly, leave him alone. Let him accumulate energy. Where all of us, typically, as modern people, stretched out as we are stretched out financially. Most people have their money mortgaged out for the next many, many months, and people live that way in the same manner as far as their energy is concerned. Almost everybody is tired. The first thing that people do when they come out here is to rest a lot. They'll sleep, and they'll sleep, and they'll sleep, and maybe get restless, but that's a good sign. It means that energy is accumulating. And when there is enough energy to support, I'm trying to get up the courage to call it a religious process, because that's what it is, of putting a fractured soul back together again. And a vision quest sets you out in a little circle, out in some place of beauty and quiet, utterly alone, and leaves you to look at you. You talk to you, you look at you, and you address you. That is, the fragmented parts of one speak back and forth that way. It's often a frightening process. It's often an ordeal to go through. People typically have a hard time the first few hours of this. Time goes through some strange gyrations when time seems to slow down until from morning till noon, and one day is like half a lifetime. But if one has the courage to bear this and will endure the integrating process which it invites, one begins to put the fragmented parts of one's nature back together again. Typically, after 1 day, 2 days, some period of time like that, one will come to a gigantic aha experience, or a eureka experience. These are names we've learned to devise to talk about that revelation one sees, or one comes to a kind of unity, or one comes to a sense of healing, which is probably unique in his life. He can do that alone, in community, best. That seems a paradoxical statement, but that's what's required of one. One has to be alone, uninfluenced by anybody or anything else, but within the framework of a community, just for the safety of it. The directors of this program are acutely aware of the needs of such people as we. And they provide enough community and enough safety and enough backing and enough privacy, which is a neat trick to pull off for a modern human being. It requires all of those things before one can face that unitive moment, or what the medievals called a unitive experience. I see people, they're extraordinary people to begin with. You have to be a person of considerable integrity and courage to make your way out here. This is a long way from anywhere. And that extraordinary flight in from the last point of civilization, Temagami, by the float plane, which carries the pilot and 3 other people or 4 other people. And the pilot lets you off at the dock here on the small island and unceremoniously dumps your baggage off on the wharf and turns about and roars off with this float plane, and a silence descends upon one that is an absolutely unique experience. The island is silent to begin with, but contrasted with the roar of that great symbol of civilization, an airplane, acquaints one with what a silence he has come into. And there's that wonderful paradoxical genius on this island of being close enough in community with people of like mind and private enough. And that seems to be the matrix from which healing can take place. The healing is beautiful to watch. In a week's time, one sees tension lines and worry lines on a face ease up and lighten up, and a kind of a sense of joy come over people. Now, a week won't heal one's whole lifetime, but it will appreciably begin the process. It's to be hoped that one carries it on at home as one can. A day here is like going through a year's analysis with an expert who knows how to tread his way through that painful and difficult land of the unconscious. And here one has nature in back of one. No matter how carefully one does this in a controlled way or a professional way, it doesn't have nature in back of it. The process doesn't have nature in back of it, as is true here. To make a big, bold, sweeping statement, our illness is that we have departed from nature. And nature sometimes grows hostile under those circumstances. It's as if we have insulted the Mother Earth and she takes revenge back on us by moods or worries or anxieties. If one comes out here, one can make peace with nature again.